All right, so we're diving into something you guys seem really curious about, and honestly, I get it. It's something I think about a lot too. Aging, specifically aging well, and we've gotten a ton of questions about NMN.
Yeah, it's definitely having a moment.
It really seems like it. And, we like to get to the bottom of things, so we're taking a deep dive into this GenuinePurity Liposomal NMN supplement. What's the deal with this stuff? Miracle cure or marketing hype?
Well, what's got me interested is the approach. It's not just about slapping on creams to hide wrinkles. It's going deeper, looking at what's happening at the cellular level.
Okay, see, that's what I find fascinating. We're talking about going beyond the surface and actually addressing the aging process itself.
Exactly. And a big part of that is understanding this molecule called NAD plus IDI. It's vital for our cells to produce energy.
So NAD plus is kind of like the fuel our cells run on.
More like the spark plugs.
Spark plugs.
Yeah, they're what ignite the fuel, right? So think of it like this. The food we eat, that's the fuel. And our cells need NAD plus to convert that into usable energy.
Okay, I'm following. So what happens to these spark plugs as we get older?
Well, like anything else, they wear down. NAD plus levels naturally decline as we age, and that impacts a ton of cellular processes, from energy levels to DNA repair.
So that's why we might feel that afternoon slump more often as we get older. Our cellular engines are sputtering out.
Basically, and that's where NMN comes in. It's like delivering a fresh set of spark plugs to your cells.
Wait, so NMN, that stands for Nicotinamide Mononucleotide, right? It actually boosts NAD plus levels.
Exactly. It's a precursor to NAD plus I, meaning it provides the building blocks your body needs to make more of it. And in theory, that could help with everything from boosting energy to supporting healthy aging.
Okay, see, this is what gets me excited. We're talking about potentially slowing down the aging process at its source. But I'm also hearing, in theory, so I know it's not a done deal, right?
Yeah, research on NMN is really promising, but it's still early stages. We're just scratching the surface of its potential.
Okay, so real science, but still a lot to uncover, which makes sense. I mean, we haven't cracked the code to immortality just yet.
Not quite.
So let's talk about this specific product, GenuinePurity. They're really emphasizing their liposomal delivery system. What's so special about that?
That's a really good question, because taking a supplement isn't just about what you swallow. It's about what your body actually absorbs.
That makes sense. Otherwise, you're just, making expensive pee?
Basically.
Yeah.
And that's a common problem with supplements. So liposomal technology, it's designed to improve absorption.
How does it do that?
Think about a delicate molecule like NMN trying to navigate your digestive system. It gets broken down easily, so not all of it gets absorbed into your bloodstream. Liposomes protect it.
Protect it how?
Liposomes are like these tiny protective bubbles that encapsulate the NMN.
So they're like little armored vehicles for NMN, transporting it safely through the digestive system.
Exactly. They shield it from being degraded, so more of it can actually reach the bloodstream and your cells. And that's what GenuinePurity is banking on, that higher bioavailability.
So they're saying their liposomal NMN is more easily absorbed by the body, meaning you get more bang for your buck?
That's the idea. But let's dig into their specific claims about what this NMN can actually do, because they're making some pretty bold statements.
All right, so they've got this fancy delivery system, but what about the NMN itself? What are we talking about here?
Well, GenuinePurity packs 250 milligrams of NMN into each serving.
250 milligrams. Okay, is that, a lot?
It's a clinically studied dose.
Yeah.
And they're also really proud of the fact that it's 96% pure NMN.
96% pure. So what does that mean exactly? What am I getting with that other 4%?
You're not getting fillers or additives. It's about quality control. That high purity means a higher concentration of the actual NMN molecule.
So it's like the good stuff without any unnecessary extras.
Precisely. And that matters because when you're talking about supplements, purity and dosage, those can really make a difference.
Okay, I'm with you. So less is more in this case, I guess. Or, more purity is better.
You want the good stuff, right? And you want the right amount.
Absolutely. Okay, so they're not messing around with the ingredients, but let's talk about what they claim this potent, high-quality NMN can actually do. They mention things like increased energy, improved skin, even enhanced cognitive function. Is this stuff for real?
It's a compelling list of potential benefits for sure, and there is some promising research backing some of these claims. But
there's always a but.
It's important to be realistic. Everyone's different. What works wonders for one person might do nothing for someone else.
So you're saying it's not a guaranteed fountain of youth in a bottle?
I wish it were that easy. But
yeah, right. Me too.
It's more like Imagine you're tending a garden. NMN is like adding really good fertilizer to the soil. Will it magically make your plants grow wings and fly?
Probably not.
Probably not. But it creates a healthier environment for them to thrive.
Okay, I like that analogy. So NMN might help set the stage for better cellular health, but it's not going to erase years of, well, let's just say living overnight.
Exactly. It's not a magic bullet.
That makes sense. Our bodies are pretty complex systems.
They are. And a lot goes into the aging process. No single supplement is going to address everything.
So how should people approach these kinds of claims? What's a reasonable expectation?
Honestly, the most important thing is to talk to your doctor. Especially if you have any health conditions or you're taking medication, they can help you figure out if a supplement like NMN is even right for you and what dosage might be appropriate.
Okay, that makes sense. So don't just go ditching your healthy habits because you started taking an NMN supplement.
A healthy lifestyle is still the foundation. Think of NMN as one potential tool in your toolkit.
I like that. Speaking of seeing how this tool works in action, they do highlight some pretty interesting testimonials. There's Mark S. He talks about feeling more energized and having less joint discomfort. And Desiree P., she raves about her skin. Then there's Sarah Bowen. She claims she feels like she's cheating time. Are these testimonials just clever marketing? Or could they be, a glimpse into what's possible with NMN?
Testimonials are always interesting, aren't they? They put a face to the science. And while you can't take any single experience as a guarantee, I do think they're worth considering.
So don't go canceling your gym membership just because Mark S. is suddenly running marathons.
Exactly. Everyone responds differently to things. What works for one person won't necessarily work for another.
Makes sense.
But these stories can offer some clues. They can give you a sense of what some people are experiencing and maybe inspire you to do a little more digging.
Okay, so a testimonial might spark your interest, but it shouldn't be the only thing you base your decision on. So what do you do if you're intrigued by NMN, but you want to be smart about it?
Don't just take one company's word for it, right? Do your research. Compare different brands. Look at the dosages they're using, the sourcing of their ingredients. Read reviews from other users.
So it's like shopping for anything else important. You don't just buy the first thing you see. You shop around, compare prices, read the reviews.
Exactly. And don't be swayed by fancy marketing or inflated promises. Look for transparency, quality ingredients, and a company that prioritizes science over hype.
Speaking of science, let's circle back to that longevity connection. The source material mentioned this Dr. David Sinclair, who is apparently a big deal in the longevity world. What's his take on NMN?
Oh, yeah, Dr. Sinclair. Yeah, he's doing some really fascinating work with aging. He's looking at NMN and how it might, affect how long we live.
Okay, so we're talking lifespan here.
Well, it's more than just lifespan. It's health span, too.
Health span, what's that?
So lifespan is how long you live, right?
Yeah.
But health span is how long you live a healthy, vibrant life, like free from those age-related diseases.
Oh, okay, so it's not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years.
Exactly. And that's what's really exciting about this research. It's suggesting that maybe we can use NMN to not just live longer, but to live better for longer.
I like the sound of that, but be honest, how much of this is still theoretical?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? This is really complex stuff, and there's still a lot we don't know about aging, but the early research it's definitely promising.
So we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I think so, yeah. And that's what makes this whole area so fascinating, right?
It really does. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second. If someone's listening to this and thinking, okay, should I be taking NMN? What's the bottom line?
At the end of the day, it's a personal decision. Talk to your doctor, weigh the potential benefits against the risks, and see if it's right for you.
Always good advice. So, NMN, it shows promise as a potential tool for healthy aging, but it's not a magic solution. And as always, more research is needed.
Absolutely.
Well, we covered a lot of ground today. We talked about the science behind NMN. We dug into GenuinePurity's liposomal formula. And we even touched on the exciting world of longevity research.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic.
It really is. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that we have more control over how we age than we might realize. It's not just something that happens to us.
I completely agree.
So what do you say? Ready to take on the next deep dive?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll catch you guys on the next episode.